On this channel, we don't like to be too negative. We try to see the best things in everything, but we're also an honest channel that tells you what we think. It's just stupid. So, in the spirit of that, I'm going to tell you the 5 things I really, really hate about new Star Trek that have really annoyed me, that have actually made me pause the episode and go to myself for a little while. Now, there are lots of things about New Trek that have irritated me when they've changed canon or they've messed around with the technology of things, but these are the things that actually make me furious. And to be honest, these are not going to be in any particular order because I hate these 5 things so much. It's hard to actually rank them in an order. So in no particular order, except for the last one. And get in the comments now, if particularly you know me, what do you think the thing from New Trek I've hated the most is? Get into the comments. I can wait. First of all, Jurati's Borg. Now, I'm actually going to throw this in. The entire season 2 of Picard annoyed me. I'm going to mention it again in a minute, actually, another thing that happened in the series. But the reason why it annoyed me so much is because it started so well. The first episode was so good. The second episode was, but by the third episode, I was like, oh, they've ruined Star Trek again. But the way the season ended genuinely made me angry. Right, so Jurati could have just appeared on the Stargazer, lifted up a visor and gone, "It's me! I'll explain in a minute. Don't fire." But she didn't. And we had to go through that whole episode, that whole series. Now, we can argue that she didn't because we needed the story to happen. And let's be honest, that always happens in movies and TV series. But this is such a massive one, a glowing pimple of nonsense that it's a bit difficult to get through. But also, it's not logical in any way because Jurati's Borg, again, does not make sense. So Jurati is a queen, but what they've sort of done is said, well, she's separate to the main collective. This is her own collective, but they're good. They're the good Borg. Well, they're not, because Jurati still would have had to have assimilated tens of thousands of innocent people to create her Borg collective and build that spaceship that can only just be described as a massive vagina. And it's just, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed it. It just looks like space nudity. But anyway, and then they come and they save the Federation and they go, we'd like to become part of the Federation now. Something that they just forgot about in Picard season 3. This is going to be something we come back to again and again in this episode, in this video, I think, about how they just do stuff and then go, people hated that. Let's forget we did it. But it was not logical, and that's the problem with the whole Jurati Borg thing. From beginning to end, it makes no sense, and it's still the Borg. She still would have assimilated and murdered basically tens of thousands of people. So, season 2 of Picard also had the beginnings of a relationship between Raffi and Seven. Now, I'm going to say that I hated this, not because of what a lot of people said, because they don't like lesbianism. I do not give a crap. I think your sexuality is your problem, not mine, and I'm not going to get annoyed about it. The thing I hate about it is, for Picard season 3, they just threw it in the bin. They obviously got a load of people that shout woke at things, yelling and going, "No, we don't like it, we don't like it." But I actually thought it was a really interesting character development. A lot of people don't like Raffi. That's fair enough. I actually don't really care if Raffi's in an episode or not. I think I like the actress. I'm not a massive fan of the character. I don't think they developed it very well. But that's again not really why I have a problem with this. Picard season 3, they just completely ignored this virgining relationship. That annoys me because why? They could have just done something for 2 seconds and sort of gone, we broke up or something. But they just had all of this development in the second season, they're building up towards something, and then just didn't pay it off. That's maddening. But basically, they did that a lot in Picard season 3. They did a lot of, Let's pretend season 1 and 2 didn't happen because they were crap. And that is partly one of the reasons why Picard season 3 was so brilliant. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. You'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos do premiere first, and you get to see them without the adverts, you lucky bunnies. Go check it out. But let's talk about the other thing that I hated that they didn't ignore in Picard season 3. They ignored it in Picard season 2, but they didn't ignore it so much in Picard season 3. They mentioned it once or twice. Picard is now an android. I hated that. It was done so badly. So they did this whole thing, and I thought they actually did it really cleverly in Picard season 3, that they made out that the thing in his brain was actually, it was not an illness, it was actually a side effect of the Borg plot from Picard season 3. So I thought that was great. But Picard is now an android. The end of season 1, a disappointing season, let's be honest, ended with Picard dying, but being brought back as an android that was old and was designed specifically to break within about 20 years, so it would be within his sort of like normal lifespan, so he was not immortal. I hate every aspect of that idea. They didn't need to do it. They could have just saved his life. They could have just not done that illness in the first place. That would have been fine too. But making him into an android that is specifically designed to die, is just stupid. And he's still weak. They made the android specifically so he's weak, not fast like Data, not to be able to think any quicker, nothing. They just replicated his body. In that case, why didn't they just replicate his body? I just hated every aspect of the idea. I thought it was stupid. I thought it didn't make any sense. And to be honest, it created a problem in seasons 2 and 3, because in a way, you're like, well, there's no danger for Picard. He's a pigging android. Who cares? He finds out he's got a son. He's a pigging android. Who cares? You know, it just didn't make any sense, and it took away a lot from the character for me. The Klingons. Every second that the Klingons are in Discovery season 1 was bad. They looked weird, they acted weird, and they, to be honest, they looked like they were made out of clay or something. They just were just bad. And also, not just the actual Klingons, the starships as well. The starships have iconic designs for the Klingons. Iconic. What the hell were all those ships in season 1 of Disco doing? I've no clue, because they just look stupid. There were elements of proper Klingon history and culture, etc., that were also completely ignored. The Klingons were sexualized in lots of ways, which was a bit weird as well. It's just, the whole thing was weird. And this is the one thing I actually do genuinely blame Alex Kurtzman for. You know, you guys, there's a lot of people out there that hate Alex Kurtzman and want him away from Star Trek. I've said, look, I don't feel that way. I think Alex Kurtzman has made some mistakes with Star Trek, but I think they've done some good stuff with New Trek as well. Not that you'd believe it from this video. But the one thing I do really, really blame Alex Kurtzman for, and I put solely in his thing, that he cocked this up from beginning, was that he dragged the appearance of the Klingons, the style of the Klingons, out of the movies, the J.J. Abrams movies, and he tried to put it into Disco. Now, they've had to try to fix that since by actually saying there's lots of different types of Klingon and it's fine. But that's trying to fix a problem that Alex Kurtzman made in the first place. He shouldn't have done it. It kind of ruined the first season of Disco for me, that actually had some really interesting characters and an interesting premise, and it got ruined immediately. It's a shame. It was weird. And we can't really delete Disco season 1. I'm enjoying season 5, by the way. It's really good. But we should forget season 1 ever happened. Subspace Rhapsody was a bad episode, but the moment in it that actually made me angry was the K-pop Klingons. That whole moment was so cringy. The lead Klingon and all his gold, you know, ow, ow. Just fucking, oh no, it's just bad. It was just really, really bad. And I gotta say, it might be the most cringy moment in Star Trek ever. It even beats when Beverly Crusher had sex with a ghost. it even beats that, which was pretty bad. It's not a good episode for me, but that moment, I know it made a lot of people laugh their asses off, but any Star Trek fan, I can't understand why any Star Trek fan would look at that and go, oh, haha, Klingons. No, it's just, it goes against everything we know about the Klingons. I know why they did it, because it's that's the point, that it was a complete flip of the Klingons. It was just, and made me want to poke myself in the eyeballs with a big fork. Hated it. The final thing, now this is actually the moment in Star Trek I do hate above all others. I can't really rank the others, but this one I do rank as number one. I hated this moment. I actually pretty much hated the episode, but the musical episode with all the singing. Now, I've argued with it that it's not sci-fi. It was just an excuse for them to have a sing-along. The reasoning behind why they were all singing made no pigging sense. I know they tried to say, oh, it was the psychic thing, and there was another dimension. Everybody would have had to have been psychic, though, for it to work, because everyone knew the words and the lyrics and the dance moves. So there would have had to have been some sort of psychic link between them or something, which, again, didn't get sort of mentioned. But it's a boring episode. It's not for me. That's fine. But not every episode can be for you. A lot of people hated the Lower Decks crossover episode, and I personally loved it. I thought it was great. Highlight of the season. But guys, get into the comments and tell me what you think. Out of all of the new Trek, are there moments that you just go, dear God, what the hell is happening? Are they different to the five I've mentioned? Are there completely different ones? Or actually, are the moments that I mentioned, did you think they were great, funny, humorous, whatever? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think, and maybe give us your top 5 of moments you've really hated, or to flip it, the moments you've really loved. Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.